Even though we were swimming underwater for 20 minutes, for some reason Bart's couldn't swim across that channel that's like 10 inches long. And then we get a world map, and we know that's an important item because it has a special theme song attached to it.
The thing is, though, like, you'd think, like, maybe, like, a world map that's been in a bloody, rotting, collapsing ship, like, you don't think it'd still be accurate.
You think it's probably not a good world map, right? So these guys are navigating using this map. They crashed, right? It's probably not a good map. This is like, oh man.
Actually look at the world map by pressing R or whatever the key is.
Yeah.
It is actually terrible.
It is actually terrible.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's my note. That's why it's terrible. So it's like you know, this ship is like if it was the Earth, these guys would be like Europe would actually just be somewhere in South America.
It'd probably be a map written in crayons.
But for some reason, there aren't any
off.
cartographers in this game, so this is the only world map you can get in the entire game. Also, this map also still applies when the world gets destroyed. Huge spoiler alert, but yeah. So this is a magical map that sucks, is basically what's going on here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're getting possessed by demons.
Although, to be fair, the, like, map working for all worlds thing, like, maybe works magically because the worlds used to be one. Again, spoiler alert, although it's not like it fucking matters.
Well, it might be, you know, I'm offended. I've never played this game before, and you just spoiled it for me. I mean, I can't play this game anymore. I'm just out. You know, I'm going to start protesting outside your house. I'll just be like, wow. How dare you spoil it? You ruined my experience of Final Fantasy V, a game that I will say that I haven't played in front of the court, so you know I can.
Yeah, like you obviously have only like ever not played it.
I mean, I just got to become, like the highest ranking official on the Final Fantasy Wiki just because, just good connections. I never actually played any of the games. I was just,
like
I just made it all up. The whole it's all just a lie.
It's all nepotism. Like that's obviously all the wiki is. Nothing but nepotism.
Exactly. Crazy Sword was actually my father, and so he just gave me the.
Well, suddenly this explains why after Yun was made bureaucrat, Ark became a mod. Suddenly the wiki makes sense now. It's all a huge conspiracy put together by Shane613.
Exactly, that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet he was a lizard man.
I bet he was this demon person that's here in the game right now. This game was created by Shane613 so that his wiki would be hugely successful, so you could make a huge profit off of it.
Do you think he could have made a better game
than money off the wiki? It doesn't all go to Wikia or anything.
Actually, I'm making
it was a conspiracy.
I'm making big bucks. I'm making 6 figures of internet money.
So basically, Dogecoins.
No. Internet money.
Dogecoins are like negative money.
Dogecoin is actually the black hole of money. It's something that's so infinitesimally dense and stupid. And no one can understand it. And it sucks a lot. It's like a black hole, okay?
And here,
dense and sucks a lot.
And here, Galoof punches the souls back into people. Because, that's definitely a thing you can do.
Well, he punched a rock lobster earlier.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. Because
it
usually kind of wasn't possible.
He killed it with his bare fists. He probably has the fists of a bear.
Well, in the PlayStation version, Freelancer was called Bear.
Oh, really?
So actually, even though he's a monk, he used to be Bear. Also, when he was born, he wasn't wearing anything, so he was Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all coming together now.
I never knew that about the PlayStation version.
Oh yeah, I wonder if I said that in the last version was recorded, and someone just stole my fact.
Obviously not.
I don't think anything's stealing at this point.
This is this is Siren. Siren is a boss. Like, she hurts sometimes, but she doesn't.
Only when she's a zombie.
Yeah, when she's in her alive form, I guess. Yeah, I'll say alive. She pretty much just does nothing.
It's not a very nice thing to say. I bet she has a lot of nice qualities. It's just very judgmental. You're just gonna go up to someone, you just see someone on the street and it's like, wow, that person does nothing if she's not punching you in the face.
Right, she's actually probably quite attractive, but we can't see it because it's 16-bit sprite.
Yeah.
Because, you can't have good graphics on the SNES, which is why Final Fantasy VI had good graphics.
No, like,
SNES?
obviously, like, this is obviously just a rendition of her, and, like, she wasn't as popular as the Lamia enemies from Final Fantasy IV, which are half cleavage.
Apparently becoming one of the undead means getting chicken pox. If that's so, then I've become one of the undead already in my life when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah, like...
And then...
no, obviously becoming undead means, like, you become a lot harder to hurt. Like, that seems like a pretty valid reason.
Wait a second, this is a conspiracy by the anti-vaxxers have exposed the truth. You see,
exactly.
when you vaccinate someone, you make them immune to chickenpox, and if you get chickenpox and you turn into a zombie and become superpowered, the anti-vaxxers realize that humans aren't being used to their full potential because they're vaccinated to chickenpox. So actually, vote against California's vaccination requirement law.
I didn't even know there was a vaccine for chickenpox, so
I got it when I was 3.
Yeah, I
in Australia,
got it when I was like 8.
I bet they just leave you outside of a mountain to, just fend for yourself when you're born. I'm assuming that's how Australia works, right?
Yeah, Australia is actually the new Sparta.
Yeah.
Like, we even, like, tried fighting, like, against, like...
Well, Japan is sort of like, the Empire.
Yeah.
Sort of. Not really at all.
It used to be, I guess.
Perhaps.
No, like,
so you go through the 5 stages of of loss. The first one is denial, and then you go into depression, and then you go into bargaining, and then aggression, and then acceptance.
What does any of this have to do with anything?
I'm just thinking I'm in the second stage right now.
Here we see Hex turning off fine passages, which is going to come bite him in the ass later.
No, it doesn't end up being relevant because Faith has it innately, apparently.
Oh.
Which I didn't know until after I turned it off.
Well, you still managed to miss an item in Corwin. Huge spoiler alert, we go to Corwin and he misses an item.
Yeah, I
exactly.
I missed the Frost Rod, which I'm actually going to backtrack first thing in part 3 to get it. Because of that.
The Frost Rod is actually an item of extreme sentimental value.
Yeah, like...
In fact, I have a Frost Rod just to my left of my mantelpiece, which doesn't exist because I live in an apartment building. But if I had a mantelpiece, there would be a Frost Rod on it.
Yeah.
I said there's just a table with a fan on it. Which is kind of like a Frost Rod, because it's a rod.
They're cool.
Exactly, like me.
And here I just leave this random encounter in, just because to show off Flea. Which... like, it's a thing. It works.
Well said.
But yeah, here we are.
And here we have to talk to a bunch of random NPCs because one of them does something.
Yeah, literally, in this you have to talk to pretty much most of the NPCs. Because you need a certain one to trigger a flag, which lets you go do plots stuff there. General, like, early town stuff.
But what color flag?
Well, 0 and 1 is usually represented as black and white.
Yeah.
But, you know, these flags are a deep metaphor for racial tensions in the deep south, because it's deep.
Exactly. Exactly.
Free deep 5-year. It's like my Evangelions.
Exactly. You know, a fun fact, the penguin in Evangelion actually represents loss and longing.
Exactly. It also represents
Or
that
the penguin-
genetic engineering is also bloody horrifying.
I think also the penguin in Evangelion also represents the extreme amount of psychokinetic drugs. drugs that the creators of that series are on for the last 2 episodes.
I think it was more than just drugs. I also think it was they ran out of money.
You know,
On
what
drugs.
did they spend? What did they spend the money on?
Drugs.
That's what I thought.
The truth comes out.
Like, obviously, like, they needed Shinji's sync level to, like, reach 420% sync. He needed to blaze it.
You know, sometimes I just try to find, you know, a bunch of college-age students who are driving robots, and I just walk up to them, and I get a whole bunch of my friends in a penguin, and just go, "Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Congratulations!" You know, I do this almost every day. It's actually kind of amazing.
Exactly.
In fact, I had to stop doing it for today. You know, I was out in the town. You know, it's midnight or whatever. And I'm going out. You know, and the stars are shining in the sky. A bunch of college-age students, and I jump them from a bunch of bushes and say, "Congratulations!" And a tear rolls down his face, and he's like, "Thank you." And he cut the credits of a little moon.
You need to do the piano a certain number of times to learn the ultimate bard ability. Spoiler alert, bard is a job in this game. But in this one, he can't even play a simple major scale at this right tempo, so I think he's going to take a while before he levels up his piano.
Also, you don't learn the bard ability. The piano, I think, is completely worthless. It doesn't do anything.
To be fair, like, I'm pretty much just doing the piano thing for completion's sake. And
Also, now we're walking through the wall because we're thieves. And we just stole 1,000 gil.
yeah.
Prove my point.
Oh, this is that bit. I haven't really been paying attention.
Like, he's like, "Oh, this dude's behind my counter," you'd think.
He's not
Well,
even bothered.
8-bit theater taught me that NPCs will just say the same thing over and over again, even when it makes no sense.
Kind of like people who watch the same video over and over again, expecting a different result.